Hi, welcome to the Boca Voice and Fact or Fiction Friday. Today, I'm here with Yuleika de Castro from the Alzheimer's Association, who is here to promote Walk to the End of Alzheimer's. Now, Yuleika, thank you so much for joining us.
It is such a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Well, tell us a little bit about this event and what got you involved with the association.
Well, the association is such a wonderful place. It is not only because it's one of the top-rated places to work in nationally, but also because it really does something for the community here locally. We are a national organization, but we are here locally. The funds that we raise locally stay local, and we are here to provide services for caregivers and those living with Alzheimer's disease, as well as raising funds for research so that one day we can have a world without Alzheimer's.
Well, we all hope for that day. Tell us a little bit about the event and when they get involved. And I know it's at Meisner Park. I know it's on September 17th.
Yes.
And the only other thing I know is it starts at 7 a.m. So
well, you know a lot.
So please fill us in with the rest.
Well, you do know a lot about it already. It is going to take place at Meisner Park. We are welcoming the entire community to join us, whether you have someone who's living with Alzheimer's disease, or you are supporting those who are living with Alzheimer's disease, or you're a professional in the field. Come on out, have fun. You can start your own team. You can participate. You can raise funds as a virtual walker if you can't be here on the 17th, or you can also volunteer. And those high school students, you can get your volunteer hours definitely on that day as well.
Talk a little bit about the virtual walker.
Sure.
How can people become a virtual walker?
Well, they go to our website, which is alz.org/walk. On that website,
we'll have that for you as a link to the page.
On that website, you can go on there, and if you are someone who is maybe looking at this from somewhere outside of South Florida and you want to participate and you want to raise funds and you want to start a team, you can actually do it. You don't actually have to come and walk. You can just do the fundraising part of it and have all the fun and, send out the emails and be part of, leading the way to a world without Alzheimer's.
That's great. So tell us a little bit about the association now. I know that you have 4 locations in South Florida. I know that you're one of the best places to work in South Florida from what I've read a little bit about and what you've told me. But tell us a little bit about some of the mission of what the association does and where some of the money goes.
So what we do things for the community here locally. For example, we have our 800 number. It's 800-272-3900. And that number you can call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and you are able to reach someone who is a master's level clinician that can help you through if you're having a problem with someone that you know that's having Alzheimer's disease. If you don't know what the next step is, you've just been diagnosed, what do you do? The financial planning that comes into place, the care planning that comes into place. The Medic Alert, we have a program that if an Alzheimer's patient wanders, they have a bracelet that okay, this is an Alzheimer's patient and this is where they belong and this is who I need to call. So we have a whole bunch of programs, educational sessions where we go out to businesses and we speak to their employees so that they know that these resources are there. We have online programs that people can go, and everything is free. We even go out to first responders and we work with the cities and train first responders to really be able to recognize someone who is wandering, someone that has Alzheimer's disease, and the special needs that they have in order to be able to care for them.
Are there special programs for people in the community to start to notice? I mean, when you get someone in your family that's starting to get up in age, how do you start to identify when you start to notice? I mean, there are certain worry warts you start to think of, well, are they starting to get the onset of dementia or Alzheimer's? Right? I mean, how do you start to notice and start to look for signs? And do you teach that on your websites, or do you have seminars that people can go to get involved?
Well, all of the above. We have it on our website. We have program services coordinators who go out and speak about this. It's called the 10 signs. So they can go on our website and just look up the 10 warning signs. And those signs can include things like forgetting your keys, but not just forgetting that keys. It's about not being able to retrace your steps and figure out what did I do before to be able to remember where your keys were.
I was going to say, if you forget your keys, I'm done.
I know, me too. I can't remember what I had for breakfast, right? So it does happen a lot, but there are specific things, the perception, depth perception. That's why it's very important that once you're moving forward, progressing through the disease, that you no longer drive, because that depth perception is gone. Losing your orientation of date and time, getting lost, going to places that you're used to going to, the bank that you always go to, the grocery store that you always go to, and all of a sudden you can't remember how to get there. Those are little things that, someone can recognize. Having the same conversation over and over because you don't realize you already had the conversation, that could be a sign of Alzheimer's disease. Now, a lot of these things could be something completely different. But, if it is something, it's important that you visit a medical doctor, a neurologist that can really properly diagnose this. And they'll do, some memory screenings and things like that will help you really get the correct diagnosis. And it is important for people to realize that now there is a new code for going to a doctor, because prior to this year, there was no medical code for consultations with your doctor for planning once you've gotten that diagnosis.
Really?
Yes. So now doctors can actually charge for their time when they are consulting with a patient who has been diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease, and that did not exist prior to this year, and that was part of the advocacy work that we do.
I am shocked that prior to this year that didn't exist.
It did not exist, and it was something that we advocate for, because that is also some of the things that we do. Is we actually travel to Tallahassee, we travel to Washington, D.C. Last year, 25 people from this area traveled up to Washington, D.C. to speak to Congress and let them know that this is an important disease. It is the 6th leading cause of death in the United States. There's over 5 million in Florida living with the disease. In here in South Florida, 200,000 people are living with the disease. And that is with only 50% that we know that are getting diagnosed.
What a great opportunity to come out and enjoy. And don't forget that it's a family-friendly event. September 17th, the Walk to End Alzheimer's is going to be at Meisner Park, September 17th. You come out, you enjoy fellowship, everything that Boca has to offer, and it's all in one place at Meisner Park. Please come out and join. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate everything you're doing for the community and for this great cause. If there's anything that we can do for you, we're always here to support you. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook at thebocavoice.com or follow the Alzheimer's at ALZFL. We look forward to seeing you next week at Fact or Fiction Friday on the Boca Voice.